But I would. I'm gonna say a field goal win for the Bears on that one.
You're falling into the trap. You're falling into the trap. And I'll tell you what. Vegas wants everybody to take Chicago because you look at that spread and it's a divisional matchup, like we said 1,000 times, and 1.5. Chicago at home, great defense. Let me take Chicago.
Stephon Diggs asked for a trade on Minnesota. There might be some problems in the locker room. There's some stuff there. I'm telling you, there's some stuff there.
That's my lock of the week. It's my lock.
Hey, but you beat Washington last week too. Remember, it wasn't a lock. It wasn't a lock. But you were like, oh.
But they should have.
Well, no, they were down like 30-7, and then they got a couple of garbage time points, and they get it close, but they didn't cover. Anything with Washington.
I'm really worried about Washington. Yeah, Washington going forward, they're terrible. But obviously, Minnesota is not a team that you have to worry about because they're all three aspects of the game, offense, defense, special teams. Even their kicking's been pretty. Like these days, if you're not talking about someone's kicker, that means they're doing their job. We see how many missed extra points there are these days, affecting the spreads and that kind of stuff. Getting back to my rant though, I think that Vegas really wants everybody to take Chicago here, as evidenced by this spread of 1.5, because it should be at 3, right? Wouldn't you make that line at 3 the whole team?
The thing with that is because it's not a 3 line because of also that you just mentioned that giving them 3 points. I think we'll get maybe heavier money on Minnesota because Minnesota's technically looked the better team so far.
They are the better team.
Again, I'm still. I was very. Maybe it's me. I was very high on that Bears team going into the season.
Everybody was. I told you the most bets in Vegas took the most. All the casinos took the most money on futures to win the Super Bowl, more than the Patriots with Chicago. They're delusional fans, and
because how good the defense is. Which again, I mean, like I said, if it at 3 points, why would have got more money on Minnesota? It's again. I think it's a pick'em game, and those are usually the case there. It's a small spread of the whole week because I think both teams, like depending on how they play, could be definitely a different story on what happens. But again, it's just one of those things where those games I just technically always go with the home team because those are always like up in the air.
Sounds good. We're gonna bet a coffee on this next week when we do the show. Whoever loses, bring the other guy a coffee. I take mine black. Let's move on quickly. The last 3 games: Jacksonville and Denver. Denver by 3. I think a lot of people will probably like Jacksonville here because they look good. They're coming off that big win against Tennessee where they smacked them on the Thursday night. Denver, I've liked them a lot for whatever reason. I don't know. They remind me of Chicago, actually. Their defense is great. Their quarterback sucks. Joe Flacco, he's been around forever. He's won a Super Bowl, but he's not good. He's aged. Their wideouts are getting older, too. Emmanuel Sanders has been pretty decent. But, I'm taking Denver by the 3. I think it's going to be a close game for sure because these are great defenses, but give me Denver on the 3.
Okay, so basically now you're doing the reverse psychology that you're just doing the last pick. So Jacksonville, coming off a nice win on...
Everybody's on the Minshew train, right? Uncle Rico. Give me Uncle Rico, right? But I don't want him. I'm not buying the hype on this one. There's so much, behind-the-scenes drama going on. Everybody's riding Jacksonville. Shout out to Daniel Fama.
Yeah, because this is actually the reverse of what you just told me, where this line, realistically, based on how the teams have been playing, doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right?
And I get it. They go to Denver and on the altitude and all this other...
It's not crap. It's not.
I get that, and I know Denver's better at home, but they had Oakland at home, and they lost that game, and I think Jacksonville's much better.
But this is what I mean. You have to constantly readjust and calibrate because, if you keep going off the same thing, where let's say I want to take the home team that's the dog, it'll work sometimes, but it's not going to work all the time, right? So here it is, that 1 to 3 point spread, 2 good defenses. I think everybody's going to take Jacksonville. Right? Not the professional bettors like myself, but everybody else going to take Jacksonville. Minshew, Uncle Rico, the defense, right? Jacksonville has some injuries as well, and I just think when you got Von Miller coming out, Minshew's not going to have all day to throw the ball.
Okay.
And that Denver's pass rush hasn't been good for at least 5 years now. Who knows? I still think
they should be going Von Miller and Chubb, right? They should be better.
But let me talk about it. Their offense is just as bad, if not worse, than Chicago, going against a really good defense in Jacksonville.
You're giving me points to take the...
I am giving you points, but at the same time, it's what really does... Jacksonville's going on the road, right? They don't have that warm weather. They're going to go to the altitude and all that. And get into the Chris Berman stuff, but give me Denver on the 3, baby. That's another log. Let's go.
I'm taking...
You're taking Minshew and Uncle Rico.
Minshew and Uncle Rico. I think, I just can't... I've seen nothing out of Joe Flacco the last couple weeks, and I'm like... You can't trust the man. I don't know.
Which means you got to take him now.
No, but like I said, I I think he's done. Like he's done.
He's
like
done.
He's Eli Manning in his Denver uniform. He's there for the checks. And again, like when you have like yes, do I think that'll be a tougher game than I thought, for example, I thought he'd struggle against the Titans and he did well. And again, I get the whole Denver thing. It's not a game that I'm going to bet on, to be honest with you, because I think that's you make some decent points in terms of road games, but he's looked good. He's looked
decent. Like he's looked. This is the thing. There's so many bad quarterbacks in the NFL, right? Like how many guys? There's 10 quarterbacks in the league where you're like, okay, they're clear cut over X guy. But I've seen what it's been 2 or 2.5 games, and I'll never forget. My buddy told me when I saw Odell Beckham play for the first, and he was different because he's a top 10 pick or whatever. But I saw him and I was like, this guy's different. He's incredible. I like Minshew a lot. Like I think he's going to be a pretty decent starter, and it's funny because they just signed Foles to a long-term deal. But I don't see Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, or even like Deshaun Watson. Like I don't.
But he's better than Blake Bortles. That's for damn sure.
But what's that saying, right?
Well, that's all
they have
a capable quarterback, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all they really need.
They have a capable quarterback. I just don't want to hear of him being, the next big thing. I think that he'll be fine, but it's his first few games. Defense is going to adjust. They're going to throw different schemes at him. And I just think that he'll still be good. He's not a terrible quarterback. He'll be at best a league average, but I just want everybody to hype the Uncle Rico trade right now.
I don't know. I'm taking the Rico case to Jacksonville.
Let's get through these quick so we can go make some picks. But Dallas -3 on New Orleans Sunday night. That's a tough one. New Orleans coming off a big win. You want them Cowboys?
No. I just like the joke.
It's tough. That's one thing I say with them.
Here's the situation there, and because they get talked about so much on like the sports media stuff between them and the Giants because of the markets, America's team, all that blah blah blah. They're 3-0. They're a lot, and I can't even say much because the Patriots have had a similar schedule.
Yeah.
They've beaten nobody.
Yeah.
They beat nobody.
Miami.
They beat Miami. They beat
Washington.
And they might have beat the 3 worst teams in the league.
Who was the third one? I hear you said.
It was Miami, and then the Giants. They had Giants with Eli back in like week 1. Yeah. They might have beat the three of the worst teams in the whole entire league, and now like Dak Prescott's an MVP candidate.
I don't like to hear it.
I don't know that. Do they get lucky in a sense that they get the Saints without Drew Brees?
Of course.
Do I think that they win this game? I don't. Even with Teddy did real well. They're at home. They're comfortable. The Saints defense is playing well. Kamara, Michael Thomas. This will be the first. This will be the test, really, unless Teddy really like. We can say shits the bed or balls the way, and Kyle Lowry's balls the wall. If he like doesn't like screw up the game, this Saints team is a better team than the Cowboys, in my personal opinion. The Cowboys got a good defense.
That's one thing. They have a great defense. Yeah.
Amari Cooper, I think, is a little bit dinged up and injured. If you take away the run game, I just don't see Dak Prescott winning you a game. So I'm gonna take the Saints to cover and win that game. So that all the Cowboys hype can like dim down a little bit because they legitimately they've looked decent, but they look decent against really bad teams. Yeah. Give me the Saints.
Like I said, there's 2 games I stay away from this week, especially when I did like a 12 gamer there. This was one, and then also the Monday nighter because I just looked at both of these, and I'm looking at all 4 of these teams, and there's just so many question marks about them. Sticking with this game, Dallas, I've typically been, I don't want to say a Dallas hater, same as you. I don't want to hear the hype until I see something real. And for the past few seasons, I've seen some stuff. The Des Bryant catch year when they lost to Green Bay was probably one of their better teams.
It should have been a catch segment.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, Dallas by 3. Okay, so obviously Drew Brees is out. He's worth at least probably 4 or 5 points in this game. Like you said, Bridgewater's been decent enough in the one game. Seattle's defense hasn't been great. Seattle hasn't been good at all. And who has Dallas beat? You talked about it. Nobody. They're like Buffalo, like New England, they've beaten nobody. They've beaten a few teams that maybe they have 1 win combined between all of them, which kind of scares me now as I'm looking at this line. Because
and the Giants win.
I always think who the public money on, and the public is never always wrong. Obviously, they're going to get some points right, but obviously Dallas. These are 2 very popular teams with Dallas and New Orleans, right? Mm-hmm. Like the Saints have a big fan base as well. Typically on these Sunday night games, Sunday night, Monday night, all these prime time, not Thursdays because those are a bit of a different beast.
Dogs.
But I like taking the points or taking the home teams in most of these games, especially New Orleans where they play down there in Louisiana. Fans go crazy. New Orleans is a different team. Mm-hmm. I think I have to. It scares me. If I'm putting money down in this game, I'm taking the Saints for that reason. I think that their defense is also underrated. I really like what they're doing there. And their coach just signed a big extension too. He's been rumored about being going. Sean
Payton
Payton forever been going. It might have been a week or two, but I'm taking the Saints. Even if they don't win the game, I think that they don't lose by more than a field goal in this one. Dallas would really surprise me if they come out here and let's say win by 7 or more. If that were to happen, even though Breeze isn't playing, then I'd say, okay, hold on. Maybe all those wins, although they were against terrible teams, maybe we could buy a bit of the hype.
Well, I mean, they beat Breeze last year in Dallas, so like it wouldn't be again a stunner.
New Orleans isn't a good road team
either,
so it's kind of tough. But you can't look at all that kind of stuff. But like I said, let's see how this plays out. I'll take New Orleans on the +3. I think that there's obviously a better chance that they win the game than lose by a field goal. I think, especially being at home. So we're both on this one with New Orleans, and we don't want to hear any of that Dallas BS. Not yet, anyways.
That's terrible.
Cincinnati Bengals Monday nighter at Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh's looked terrible. They kind of screwed me last week too with that backdoor cover against San Fran. San Fran on a bye, they looked incredible. We won't spend too much time talking about them. Even Garoppolo, they looked like a legit team. We'll spend more time on them next week. Cincinnati covered last week against the Bills. Weren't in the game for the first half, but come back, almost win the game, and end up covering the points. So both teams covered last week. Another game, like I said in the last one, I'm kind of not really on either side here, so I'll let you go first.
Well, I mean, so I think both teams are 0-3, right? I'm being correct.
Yeah, but Cincinnati seems like they've been in every game.
They've been in every game, and Mason Rudolph for Pittsburgh, and I don't. Usually, in a typical situation, if everybody was like completely healthy, I mean, the Pittsburgh spread isn't terrible, but the way that they've been playing, I couldn't lay down more than 3 points on them. That again, like I said, I'm a big guy on the half-point spreads. It's a game that, if you look at the way that Andy Dalton was playing, they lost to Seattle on the road by a point. They've been in pretty much every game. I think minus week 2 where they got beaten reasonably handily.
Was it Baltimore?
Yes, I believe it was Baltimore. Or again, I know they got beat by at least
Baltimore
a touchdown.
smashed them. Yeah, in Baltimore. Yeah.
I'm going to take Cincinnati to cover that one because in effect, I like how they've been playing a lot more than the Steelers. The Steelers have struggled mightily. I don't know what to think of Mason Rudolph at this point. Hard to really see what's going to go on there. I think the Steelers will win the game, but it'll be a close game because again, the Steelers going 0-4 pretty much just kills any chance they have. Absolutely, like I don't know if they have much chance, but the division's been pretty bad so far. I think Baltimore runs away with it at this point, but obviously whoever loses this game is pretty much done for the year.
They're done anyways. Let's call it spade a spade. They're done.
But I'll take Cincinnati to cover that because they've just been the better team so far, and I'll take the extra half point on the 3.5 and say it'll be a close field goal type game.
I don't actually Pittsburgh did cover last week. I think it was their first cover because they lost to New England in week 1. I don't remember who they played in week 2, but they didn't win that one either.
No, they didn't win that game either.
So both teams at least have one against the spread. I was thinking originally, I don't want to spend too much time on this because I don't love either team here. First, I like Cincinnati. I think obviously Pittsburgh is a bigger public team, so I wanted to lean towards them. Cincinnati's been in a lot of games, like I said. There's only been 3 or whatever, but it seems like they've been more. I'm going to go against what I think is going to happen. And, I wanted to take Cincy. Now I was like Pittsburgh, and I'm like, you know what? I'll go, give me Cincinnati. It makes too much sense. It makes a lot of sense to take Cincinnati there, right? But like anything else, the NFL, Pittsburgh could win by a touchdown. So that's Cincinnati. That's our last pick. Jets and San Fran are on a bye. That's that last 2 teams that are off. Let's quickly go into our 4-pack. Igor, who do you got?
I think I was 4-0 last week. I think I won every single best bet last week. I'm pretty sure.
I think I did. I think I went 3-4, and I think I lost on
3-4 or 3-1.
Sorry, 3 out of 4.
Oh, 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. Yeah. But you
I think
lead it off.
So best bets. So best. I'm gonna say. I definitely love Seattle. That'll definitely be one of them for sure. Mm-hmm. Man, I'm gonna say I like the Indy line, so I'm gonna go with Indy with the 7 points there. Man, as bad as I really hate doing it because it's so big, but Miami's just so bad. No, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Giants winning at home by more than 3.5. And last but not least, I'm gonna take the Saints to beat them Cowboys.
Who dat?
And who dat? So those would be my four. It'd be the Saints to cover, Seattle to win by 6, Indy by 7, and the Giants to cover the 3.5. Which I could be crazy, but Danny Dimes made me believe last week.
I like him too. Like I said, with Saquon out, it's going to be tough for them. They're going to throw the ball a lot. I'm going to go against you on the first pick. I'll take Washington for as bad as they are. Just going with the logic, they have to cover eventually. 3.5 points. I'll take them to lose by a field goal or possibly win the game. Give me the Redskins, not using much brain, just like I said, going with the law of averages here. They're going to have to cover. So I'll take Washington there. I'm going against my boys, and I know that a lot of people. I'm a different guy. I love Tennessee, but I don't like what they're doing right now. I think they need to draft a quarterback, and I think that they might get shellacked in Atlanta. I love Tennessee's defense though, and I think that they've had more weapons now than they've ever had since, I don't know, 10 years. They had Eddie George, and even more than that, we had Eddie George.
Henry had a really good first game, and then Delaney Walker. They have
but it's tough, like I said, their O-line's terrible. When you can't really throw the ball much, you just stack some guys in the box. Not Henry's fault. Give me Atlanta. Give me Washington. I'm going to take Minnesota because I love them. I think Minnesota's going to
hate Chicago.
I love Minnesota in this one. And there's a lot of other teams I was thinking about for my fourth pick. I really like Miami. I like Oakland. I like Kansas City. I like Cleveland. And the Rams. I got to tough. Last game. Give me Kansas City on 7.5. I'll take them. So I got KC, ATL, Minnesota. And I really wanted to throw Miami in there too, but we'll just stick with the 4 games. And my other pick was
Mercedes trying to throw the Dolphins out of it. It's so bad.
I think that they'll actually cover this week. So that's it for this week. Good luck with your picks, guys. And
we'll be back next week.
I hope I'm wrong with Tennessee, but I hope we'll see you guys next week.
The pig.
Touch the pig.
Touch the pig.
Marco, what's up? See you guys next week.